All right, welcome back, Alpha Hunters. The markets are closed for the week of May the 24th. So let's go through what went on this week. As we kind of talked about at the end of last week and during the week, we didn't really have that many catalysts kind of going on this week. We had a very mellow open there on Monday, but nice little pop there to start the week. But it just kind of pulled back all the way into early Tuesday and then kind of steadily rose again. But yeah, not too much kind of going on there for the first half of the week. We get halfway through Wednesday. That's when we got the Fed minutes. We saw a little bit of a drop there, but then everybody remembered, oh yeah, we got NVDA earnings coming up after the bell there on Wednesday. So then the market then rallied, of course. And then we got NVIDIA's earnings. Market gapped up pretty well. We can talk about NVIDIA here in just a bit, but market gapped up, kind of faded down, kind of bounced around for a little bit, continued to kind of roll over. Down pretty good on the day. Most of the markets at least sold off from high to low. Let's see how much the SP 500 do. About a 1.5%. Yeah, the SP 500 sold off about 1.55%, a little bit over 1.5% there. And then, yeah, we kind of came down right here on the low of this day here and kissed right off the 10 EMA on the daily. And then we kind of found a little bit of support. Bounced a little bit right there in the close, and then Friday, nice little gap up as we got some jobs data, initial jobless claims, nice little gap up, a little bit of pullback push, kind of flat there to end out the week, but not too much kind of going on. So yeah, most of the activity was really there on Thursday, not too, I guess kind of unexpected, but it was kind of a mellow week. All right, taking a look at sector performance for the week. You can see tech did actually pretty well all week. Definitely we'll be able to see that when we look at the different ETFs that kind of track across the different markets. Yeah, tech had a nice strong week to start the week, and obviously we got lifted up by NVIDIA's earnings, so they did pretty good throughout the week. Nice little bullishness throughout the week there on tech. Communications also outperformed this week. Underperformers, industrials, materials, utilities, healthcare, staples, discretionaries, financials, and then at the lower end, real estate and energies. All right, taking a look here at the VIX. We have seen the VIX actually just got absolutely shredded here over the past month since that peak really there in mid-April. And that gap down that we had, this corresponds with the gap up that we had from NVIDIA earnings on the market. So, yeah, nice little pop there, at least on the short term on the intraday there on the VIX. But we have dropped off. We're even back below December lows. So if I scroll out here, we're back down to some levels pre-COVID. Think about that. All the way back down to late 2019, early 2020. I'm not saying that this is about to happen, but it's just kind of interesting that we finally gotten back down to there. I guess we kind of were back down to that area back in December, but even breaking those lows, kind of an interesting one. All right, taking a look at the DXY, the dollar index, kind of starting out kind of chopping, not really trying to get compressed a little bit between these moving averages, and then nice little pop there on Wednesday. Thursday continued a little bit higher, so it's gonna be real interesting to see what happens here early parts of this next week. We don't have too many major catalysts coming up this next week either, so it might be in a choppy spot until we maybe get a stronger catalyst maybe down the line. So if there is something that starts to move in a direction here, like if it starts to move bullish this next week without that many catalysts, I would imagine it probably just keeps moving that way. Same thing, like if it moves bearish, not that many catalysts, so probably just continues to do that. But I would probably just be looking more for it to kind of consolidate and base here, maybe just chop sideways. Taking a look at the GLD, the gold trust. A nice drop off here Wednesday, Thursday. Quick snapback. Okay, so with how quick that was, we had a nice little extension run up there. First few weeks there of May. I would imagine we'd probably see a little bit more of a pullback here. I'd be looking for it down around 205 and less, 205 down to 202 or somewhere in there. That's kind of where these tops were. That's kind of where I'd be looking for it. That's just kind of my thoughts right now. I'd imagine we probably do come down, at least break this kind of basing area that we had there at the middle or beginning part of May. So that's kind of really right now what I'm kind of looking for. But I don't know if I would want to be bearish on anything here on a pullback. I would want to be just trying to buy dips on GLD. All right, taking a look at the 10-year yield, kind of like the DXY. Had a nice push there Thursday. Friday, kind of a hangout. It's getting above these moving averages. It is one that if it gets above May 14th, we might see yields continue to push higher. One of the things that we were looking at today on the live stream was how much Thursday yields pushed higher and broke that May 14th high. So 2-year maybe leads us higher, which I don't know if that's going to be good kind of going forward. So what that kind of also leads to is 2 years outperformance. That means we are getting more inverted on the yield curve again. So we are dropping off here on the yield curve. Be curious to see how low we go this time. Obviously, we are coming down to this level basically right now. So we'll be curious to see where we kind of stop pulling down to this time. But yeah, it's not good when short-term yields are pushing that much higher, substantially that much quicker. HYG, well, we had a little bit of a bounce to kind of start the week on bonds, and then we dropped off the middle part of the week. So, yeah, man, it's a tough one because you wanted to see us kind of hold the moving averages and push higher and through some of these resistance levels, but obviously we didn't do that. And we did come down to this little level that we had back on May the 10th or so, and that's kind of where we bounced because we bounced on Friday. So I would say you're probably having some stop losses or triggers just below Thursday's low. If we get down and break that, you're probably just looking for the bearish play to lower levels. So that's right now. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Were we looking for the pullback? We were. I don't know if I was looking for that much of a sharp move, especially on Thursday though. LQD, investment grade corporate bonds. Yeah, same kind of deal. We tried to bounce the beginning part of the week, but we dropped off, especially on that Thursday. So we didn't break this downtrend, and we are going to get to an interesting spot. Are we going to hug this downtrend again? Or are we going to push higher? Or are we going to continue to break down what we kind of started there on Thursday? So yeah, I mean, that's going to be the interesting question that we probably do get answered somewhat soon, it looks like, but without any major catalyst, maybe we don't. And the TLT kind of looking the same way, still just in this downtrending channel for the most part. I know we got a little south of there at the late April, but yeah, if we break that Thursday's low, you're probably just looking to be bearish on bonds. If we break through this downtrending line, you're probably just gonna be bullish on bonds. So there you go. All right, one thing that we started tracking or started noticing this past week on the live stream is the IYT, which is a shares trust iShares or iShares Trust iShares U.S. Transportation ETF. This is kind of like a Dow Transportation ETF. It's not like the Dow Transportation ETF, but it is one that I kind of just keep on here just to kind of see how transports, for the most part, are trading. And one thing that we were noticing this week was transports. They were getting crushed on Tuesday. Some of those transport stocks like FedEx, UPS, the rail stocks. So we looked at this and then we kind of noticed, oh, we got some lower highs coming in here. And then, Wednesday came in, nice little small green candle right there. And it's like, that's a continuation. We'll probably continue to drop off. And then Thursday, we dropped off pretty good, broke the 200 moving average there, held below it for a close, but we bounced a little bit, got above it barely there on Friday's close. And this was the spot where you're probably looking for it to maybe come back down to because it got so close, right? So these lows that we had back in the beginning part of the year. So this is an interesting thing to kind of keep on your radar because this is not really indicative of strong economic behavior. And typically the transports will tell you if there is strong economic behavior, because if you're not moving goods, well, the transports aren't doing well. So transports move the goods, they should do well. And it doesn't seem like they are. It seems like they are trading kind of sloppy and don't know what that means. It's just something I would say keep on your radar for now. All right, take a look at the RSP. And yeah, nice little breakdown there on Thursday. We were having a nice, steady, organized, very pinky out cup of tea kind of pullback there until we got to Thursday. And then we had a nice little breakdown, at least came down to this about 165 level and then bounced on Friday. So the thing that I would say is, we were looking for the pullback coming into this week. I think that was clearly probably it. You're probably looking to be bullish right now. And I would say you probably have stop losses below Thursday's low. And I'm going to say that pretty much for all of these except for maybe the Qs, mostly because the Qs haven't looked like it's pulled back at all. But most of these, you're probably just moving stop losses below that Thursday low. Even taking a look at the DIA, kind of the same thing. A little bit more of a continuation candle that came in on Friday, so maybe we do see maybe a little bit lower low there on the DIA. But yeah, it did come back down. This kind of looks like a false breakout, and we were looking at the weekly time frames on some of these during the live stream on Friday, and it kind of does look like a false breakout where we had 3 weeks, we came back up, new high, and then we just snapped right back down. Now we did come down to the 10, roughly the 10 EMA on the weekly. So do we bounce here and we're on a continuation run? Maybe it's possible, but we did see pretty good breakdowns there on Thursday. That was for a lot of the market. IWM was even up 1.1% there on Friday. You see how far away it is from its lower wick from Thursday's low. So I'd probably have a stop loss down there. So we obviously, I think we clearly got the bounce we were looking for there on Friday. Other than that, I think you're probably just going to keep running that bullish. And this is what I was talking about with the Qs though. Looking pretty good. Continuing to trend higher. Doesn't really look like it pulled back at all. But, you know, if everything turns, it all will turn together, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely have your low, your stop loss below Thursday's low. Maybe makes sense. I could also see a pullback maybe up into this level where 444 to like 447, 448. You know, these previous highs that we had back in Q1 trading. So I would imagine we probably do see maybe some more pullbacks, especially in the Qs and tech area. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. SPY, we had a nice little sideways week until we get that pullback there on Thursday, right into the moving averages. Looks like we're bouncing, looks pretty good. We also did pull right in to that previous all-time high there Thursday. So it's kind of where we kind of came down to that 10 EMA, kind of talked about earlier. So looking pretty good. I would expect, yeah, probably just looking to ride that bullish unless we break Thursday's low, then you're probably looking for a little bit more of a lower move on some pullbacks. But yeah, dip buyers came in. Alpha owners, have a great rest of your week. I would expect probably nothing to deter us from keep riding bullish because there's not a lot of major catalysts this next week. It really is not. It's going to be kind of hard to make the market go bearish if we don't have bad catalysts. Alpha owners, have a great weekend. Take care.